and welcome to the channel Crossing the Spiritual Streams. My name is Sandra, and today we're going to do a Tarot Pick-a-Pile card reading on keys to your happiness. That's what the theme's going to be this week. I am going to pre-pick charms again this week, so I will do that here in a little bit. We have 3 different piles to choose from here. I would like to take this opportunity to thank all of you who have subscribed to the channel, all of you who have liked my videos, shared the channel with your friends and family, and left me comments in the comment section. All of those things help the channel grow, and I just wanted to say thank you very much to all of you that have done that. For those of you who have not subscribed to the channel, I will invite you to do so. It is free, so after you see a reading, if you like what you see, subscribe to us. Okay, also I would like to give you an opportunity to check out another YouTuber out there. Her name is Brooke Waldorf, and I will leave a link in the description like I've been doing lately. Her readings are kind of cute. She does a lot of love readings. She does some past life readings and other things like that, so she might be of interest for you to check out as well. Okay, guys, let's go ahead and look at our piles here. Let me go ahead and I'll pre-pick the charms first for each pile. Okay. Alright, so we've got our charms. You know what? I think we need a few more charms in the middle there. Alright. We've got our piles here. Each one has a set of keys. And we're going to do a little close-up here so you can see what each grouping of keys looks like. So here's the first group. And then here is the second group. Get those a little easier for you to see. Let's see what these keys look like. And then here is the third group. See, I love keys. I think keys are, symbolize some wonderful things, unlocking doors and keeping our treasures safe and finding treasures and all those wonderful things. So I really like the symbolism of keys. Alright, so here is pile 1, 2, and 3. These cards go with it as well, the oracle cards. We're going to give you a moment or so to reflect on these piles, and then whichever one you feel most drawn to, go ahead and go to that pile and watch it, and there should be messages there for you. This is a timeless reading, so whenever you run across this, there should be something there for you to get out of this. Also, too, if you feel drawn to more than one pile, or having trouble deciding on which pile to see, go ahead and watch both of them, or even all 3 if you feel inclined to do that. Sometimes there are messages in more than one pile for some people, so just to let you know that. Okay, so we have our oracle cards, our tarot cards, we have our charms we're going to look at, and also oracle spheres where you can be asking a yes or no type of question. So we're going to give you a moment or so to reflect on these particular piles, and in the description there will be links. There'll be timestamps to each of the piles in turn, and you can go directly to your pile when you're ready to do so. So we will see you there. Hello, pile 1, and welcome to your reading. Remember, this is the keys to your happiness. Now, just remember that this is a general reading, and so take what resonates with you and leave everything else. There's a lot of people who watch these readings, and not all messages are going to work for every single person that watches it. So just pick out the things that work for you and leave everything else, okay? I just wanted to kind of get that out for you guys. There was a charm that kind of flipped up, I guess, when I was picking the charms, and it said willpower, and it kind of was landed over here on the thing, so I thought I would use that for all of the readings since it kind of came out just by itself. I think willpower is pretty important to our happiness. It's pretty important to our keys and what we do. I mean, we need to have willpower to move forward with our ambitions and things that we care about. We also need willpower to keep going when things are hard and tough and all that. So I thought that was a pretty good message. Let's get your oracle card message and see what that has to say. Okay, it's number 14, caring connections. So I do feel like you guys do need to have close connections to the people around you. It's important, not necessarily romantic connections, although those are important as well. I do think that just having your community and your pack, your team, the people around you that you can care for and that you can maybe even cook for or listen to when they have their problems, or they can listen to you, or you can laugh with or share things with. I think that's very important to you. And obviously, connections are very important to all of us. But I think for you guys specifically, that kind of connection that you would get with another person, that kind of, it doesn't have to be a super deep love connection necessarily, but a connection, a human connection, that connection with somebody else, that caring about what happens to them and them caring about what happens to you and that kind of thing, I think is a big key to your happiness. I think that kind of thing helps you a lot. Let's take a look at your charms, see what those have to say. Okay, first of all, we have a number 1, which is interesting because number 1s often are alone or by themselves, and so you would think, that would kind of be contradictive to the caring connection, but in some ways, the number 1s also mean independence and leadership. So I do think that even though having these kind of connections are important to you, I do think you being a leader might be very important. You might think, oh, really? I don't feel that at all. And sometimes natural leaders don't really feel it. It's kind of thrust upon them, and then they just naturally take on the role. And I feel like that might be the case for some of you guys, that you just may not realize that you have this leadership quality within you already. So I feel like that's kind of maybe something that maybe taking on a leadership role might be helpful to your happiness. Maybe it was something you've not ever thought of before. Maybe it was something didn't even think that you would be a leader, or, that would be something that you would think about doing. But I do think that is something that would probably help you out a lot and probably make you pretty happy. We do have a lot of letters here. Let's take a look at some of those and see what we can come up with on those. We have F, A, N, N, E, R, S, and W. Okay, I actually saw the word sew right away. So maybe sewing. This is, I don't even know why that came up, but maybe sewing might be something that might be useful to you, or sewing might represent knitting things together, creating things, repairing things that need repaired, that kind of thing. So sewing may not be literally sewing things, although I think that might be the case for some of you guys. But to me, I see it as just bringing, like, two pieces of cloth together and making something from it, being creative, repairing things, doing those kind of crafty things might be something that could be of use to you. We have lots of letters here that can spell lots of different words. They could be initials. They might spell a certain word that means something specifically to you. Let me go through them again just so you know what the letters are. And then if you come up with stuff, hey, you can leave them in the comment section. That way, if anybody happens to see this particular video, they can take a look at those words. But let's see. We have FANNRSEW. So that's our letters there. So you can come up with some other things that might strike you. I do get the definite feeling about community being important, and you working within a community and within your pack and within other people. We have an elephant here, we have a monkey, we have the sheep. All of those kind of go in packs and go together and work with their communities and family units and things like that. And so I feel like that is definitely something important to you. We also have some cards that kind of denote that a little bit as well. We have the Nine of Wands, which is a protection card in a lot of ways. And so I do feel like you feeling like you protecting members of your group and your pack is kind of important too. But we also have all of these hearts. We have the Seven of Hearts, we have the Jack and the Queen. Those are very caring type of individuals. Um, they are very sensitive. They're the dreamers. They have their head in the clouds just a little bit. They're very compassionate, and I feel like that's kind of who you guys are. These kind of compassionate kind of connections are very important to you. You might even be empathic or feel that. So people um, having those kind of connections with you, you feel a lot of what other people feel. So having them feel good about you and with you helps you because that helps you feel good. The Seven of Cups is interesting too because that often means the things that we can dream about, the things that we can manifest, we can hope for things. So I think being hopeful is something else that's also kind of important for you. Um, you kind of have that dramatic flair in you. We've got the drama gloves here, and I think when we talked about the creativity earlier as well, I think uh, you guys do have some drama. I think maybe acting as a hobby would be something that would help fulfill you, and you would enjoy that a lot in your life. I think that might be something that would make you very happy. So if that's something you've ever thought about doing or something that has ever come up with you, I think that that would be something that would mean a lot to you. We do have the Cupid here, and that also shows, once again, that deep connection. I think having a connection, not only the family connections we were talking about earlier, and the friends and coworkers and other things like that in your community, because I do think all those are very important to you. I think having a one-on-one connection with somebody that you can be very close to, that you can share your secrets with, that you can lean on, you can listen to their stories, you can be very close to. I think that that is something that you're yearning for and that would make you probably the happiest you've ever been when you find that person if you haven't done so already. You do like a little bit, it's interesting here how we have, kind of the cake with the heart on top. So once again, the love and the caring that you can get, I see that so much as something that can mean so much to you guys. I don't know what the tarot cards are going to come up with, but, so far that's definitely something. You also have the ribbon here that says hope. And I think you guys being compassionate and caring with people that need you, um, that might be sick, maybe working amongst uh, cancer survivors or amongst people that need mental health. I do think you guys might be slightly empathic, and picking up on other people's things might be difficult for you, but I also think it's the key to your happiness because I feel like once you learn that their emotions are not your emotions and that you can help um, ease their suffering just by being who you are, I think that's a lot of what would make you very happy. And I think you'd be very good at it. So I think counseling, working with people in those kind of groups would be very important for you. Also, I think working with animals might be important as well. We do have the fox and the horses and the octopus. So working for people that can't take care of themselves, helping the planet out, like working with deep sea stuff or cleaning the oceans, those kinds of things, bringing light into the world with the lantern here. All of those things, I think, are the kind of things that would really make you happy. I think you're very much that kind of emotional person who, like, if you can give service to others and the planet, I think that that would make you the most happiest that you could possibly be. Let's go ahead and take a look at what our tarot cards have to say, too. There might be some other things going along here as well. Okay, we do have the Three of Swords. We have the Ace of Swords, the Seven of Wands, the Ace of Pentacles, the King of Wands, the Ace of Swords again. Wow, interesting. The Hierophant. Yeah, definitely. And the Two of Cups and the Ten of Swords. Wow, this is very intriguing. I think working with people in the mental health field would be very helpful to you. I think it would be something you would appreciate a lot, and I think you would be very good at it. I think being a counselor, working with people with mental health issues, and even other issues like we were talking about cancer survivors and stuff as well. But I really feel like your presence and who you are can really help alleviate other people's pain and suffering. I think you can bring clarity to them. With these Ace of Swords, it's very much a clarity type of energy. The Three of Swords often deals with people, it's healing and forgiveness and recovery from emotional distress and emotional problems. Or it can mean having those kind of issues, but I really feel like in this case it's the recovery of those. You do have the Ace of Pentacles as well, which is a healing, nurturing type of thing, because the Pentacles does deal with our body and health issues. Also with this Ten of Swords, this particular one, they're grieving over a grave. Normally the Ten of Swords is somebody laying there with swords all stuck in them, and they're dying or have died from all of that suffering, and then it's time to move on. But this particular Ten of Swords, they are actually grieving over somebody who's died, and they're kind of stuck in that grief. And so I feel like you being able to pull people out of that grief would be very helpful. The Hierophant and the King of Wands kind of shows me, you have that energy of being that counselor person, somebody, you're somebody that somebody can go to and ask them questions. We even have the Two of Cups here, which once again shows a caring connection. It shows that kind of deep-seated connection. Even marriage counseling might be something for you. So this wasn't meant to be necessarily a vocation or a career reading, but I really feel like it kind of lent itself to that a lot, that would be something that you counseling others and helping others get through their emotional distress and other things would really help bring you joy. And I think it would be something you'd be very, very good at, because the cards are just kind of screaming that, just kind of all over. There's kind of everywhere. You have a magical quality about it with the Seven of Wands there. It's like a divine gift that you have that. So that is just really intriguing. Let's go ahead and get your oracle spheres. And basically how this works is you ask a yes or no type of question that you would like to get an answer to. And we have 4 different stands that your answers can appear on. We have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Gold, gray, bronze, and green. And you can pick by number or color or however you would like to do. And you go ahead and you ask your yes or no type of question, and then when you get your stand, and we'll get your answers. All right, number 1 gold is a maybe. Number 2 gray is a probable. Number 3 bronze was a not sure. And a number 4 green is a not now. Okay. Now the not sures, when they usually come up, I usually either think that the question was either not very clear or that there's things that still need to be played out before the answer can be given, and so the universe just hasn't been able to give a clear answer yet because of things that might still happen. So number 1 gold's maybe, number 2 gray is probable, number 3 bronze is not sure, number 4 green is not now. So there is our oracle sphere questions or answers for the week. I really hope you guys had some messages that came through for you guys this time that was very helpful to you. I thought it was very enlightening reading anyway. Please give the video a thumbs up, share the channel with your friends and family, leave us comments in the comment section, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Also, check out our other videos on the channel. We do a weekly rune reading that has the oracle spheres and angel numbers in it that might be of use to you, that you might enjoy. We have lots of timeless tarot readings out there on lots of different topics that you might be interested in, as well as other videos on other spiritual topics that you might want to check out as well. So we look forward to seeing you again in future videos, and may the stars guide your path. Bye-bye. Hello, Pile 2, and welcome to your reading on the keys to your happiness. Now remember, this is a general reading, and so just take what resonates and leave everything else behind. There's a lot of people who watch these videos, and not every message every time is going to work with every single person who watches it. So I would just like to kind of throw that out there and make sure you guys realize that before you look at the video. Okay, we do have our charms, which we will go ahead and do. But let's go ahead and look at our oracle thing. We also had a charm that flipped out at the beginning when I was picking the charms for all the videos that said willpower. And it kind of flipped up on the stand here, so I thought we would just use that for all of the readings, since it makes sense for all of the readings no matter what, because I think willpower is useful to all of us when it comes to our happiness. Being able to do things, have the willpower to keep going on our dreams and what we would like to do in life, have the willpower to keep going when things get hard. All of those things I think would be very useful. So I just thought that might be kind of a cool little message since it popped out there. Let's see what your card says here. We got a number 22, yin yang. That's interesting because that deals with opposites coming together. It deals with the things in the universe making things whole. So let's see what else we have going here that might work with that, because that's intriguing. It almost goes with the first reading a little bit about working together with other people and being with other people. So that's kind of intriguing. Let's see what else we have. Okay, we do have a few letters here. Let's take a look at those first, see what we can come up with on those. Okay, we got a B, Y, O, K, G, and U. Okay. Not sure what that would spell. They might be initials. They might mean something specifically to you. You might think of specific words when you see those letters pop up together, like B-Y. I thought of bye for some reason, like goodbye. Not sure what that would mean specifically, but, you know, we can go with it. So it's O-K-G-U-B-Y. So it's okay to be you, first of all, which is interesting. And we also have a R here as well. Okay. Sometimes I don't see all the letters. Okay, so there's your letters. You might be able to come up with something cool for those. We do have a Three of Swords energy. That's interesting. The Three of Swords deals with, or can deal with, healing, forgiveness, reconciliation, recovering from wounds and problems and things. So this reading might be very similar to the first reading in some ways. Let's see what else we have going here. It's intriguing. What's for you will not pass you. Live in the moment. And the circle love. Okay. Wow. Interesting. We also have lots of magical, mystical things here. This is really intriguing to me because with the yin-yang symbol and then a lot of these magical, mystical things, and things like what is for you will not pass you by and live in the moment, those to me kind of deal with law of attraction, those kinds of things. And then yin-yang also deals with kind of Eastern mysteries and in dealing with that. And then we have like these mythical things like mermaids. We have Alice, like in Alice in Wonderland. We have Rudolph. We have a rainbow, which isn't mythical, but you know, it's kind of a magical thing. So you have kind of these mythical, magical things going on here. So I really feel like you guys may be dealing with the occult, mystical matters, spirituality, dealing with maybe tarot reading, astrology, numerology, Reiki healing, anything that a lot of the world might not consider scientific, but a little bit more on the intuition side, dealing with your intuition, dealing with um, the universe on that level, and dealing with that, I think might be something that would be useful to you, and maybe make you pretty happy. If it's something you haven't really looked into a lot, and maybe you're just kind of just getting into it or whatever, I really feel like that might be a path that you might want to follow. You may want to start learning some of these things. uh, you know, Go out there and take a look at what's available out there and what some of these things mean, and what they mean for you, because I think exploring that might really be something that would make you very happy. That's something that came through. Also, number 22 in numerology means the master builder. Okay, those are the people that go out and they create new things for the universe, and they create new ways of thinking. They help the universe along. They build on things for the universe. And we did have the hacksaw here, and that kind of brought that home to me, that uh, you building new thoughts, new ideas, and that's where some of this other stuff I came from, the intuition, dealing with the universe, dealing in some philosophical type of ideas, other things like that. I think you guys might, if you delve into some of these topics and maybe write them down or talk to other people about them, or work with other people on these things, I think that might make you very happy. Plus, bring some really cool things out there to the world. I think you have some perspectives on things, or could get some perspectives on things that you could share with the rest of us that could be very intriguing. So that's just something to kind of throw out there for some of you guys as well. As that, let's go ahead and take a look at your tarot cards to see if there's anything else that might go along with this, or maybe even be something a little different. The Temperance card, we have the Nine of Pentacles, we have the Eight of Cups, we have the Two of Pentacles, we have the Queen of Wands, the Eight of Cups, the Wheel of Fortune, wow, this is intriguing, the Seven of Cups, and the Eight of Swords. Okay, believe it or not, I'm still seeing the same things with the cards that I was seeing with the charms, uh, in some different ways. For instance, the Temperance card coming through, I was thinking of that nature balance that the Temperance card represents. It's getting that balance. It's tapping into nature, saying, you see how you got the yin yang, how in balance they are. You've got, the light, the dark, and they each are part of each other, and that kind of thing. And I feel like exploring those types of things in the world, getting that kind of spiritual balance, I think is something that would definitely make you feel better. Getting into your intuition too, I think, is something else. And I saw that with some of these other cards. Because this is intriguing. The Nine of Pentacles, you notice how he's out in nature. He's harvesting what he has sown. To me, that just kind of went along with this. Also, you got the Eight of Cups. And you see how somebody's walking away here. And she's kind of feeling kind of bad. But what's interesting about this walking away, I see this as, going out on a journey and learning some things, almost like an Eastern meditation kind of thing, like, not necessarily going off and becoming a Buddhist or anything, but that kind of energy where you can go and learn about how the universe works. But we also have the Two of Pentacles, which is another balanced card. It's another balanced energy. So it's interesting how the yin yang is balanced, the Temperance is balanced, the Two of Pentacles is balanced, the Eight of Cups, they've balanced the cups. here. The eights here are a balanced number. They're also the infinity symbol on its side. So balance is popping up here like crazy. So I think learning to balance between the earth and the ethereal things, I think would definitely make you happy. So if not studying, Eastern religions or studying, astrology or these other things, if that's not something that really interests you that much, although some of these cards show that as well, if that is not something, then I think just learning to get balance in your life between the spiritual and the earthly matters is what will make you the happiest. Learning to get that balance. Meditation might help with that. It's interesting how this Eight of Cups, they're going off, they're wandering, they're on a journey. And then when we were talking about that earlier, they're on a journey. So I feel like, maybe getting that balance and learning that thing and going on that journey and learning about yourself might be something that would be very useful to you here. It's interesting how this particular Wheel of Fortune has the Ouija board with it. And once again, it's a 10, which is another kind of balanced number. So once again, we've got that going. But once again, I see the esoteric arts. I see, studying those kinds of things as maybe being something that you might really could get into and just really enjoy and just really maybe bring a new perspective on it for the rest of the world. We also have the Seven of Cups energy, which Seven of Cups usually is cups up in the air that we're manifesting the kind of things that we want and the other things that we could get. And once again, it's that whole learning how the universe works and learning how to tap into that and getting what we want. And so that's really the energy I'm feeling with this is you tapping into the universal truths and messages that are out there. I think you going along that path would be something that would very much make you very happy. The Queen of Wands is intriguing here with that as well, because the Wand suit deals with our spiritual side, dealing with our connection with spirit. And being the queen, she's kind of the one that would be that person that would almost be that go-between, with the universe, or she would have a big connection with the universe. Now, the Eight of Swords is kind of interesting in this reading. I did mention about the 8 earlier because I do think the 8s are very important. There are 3 of them here, and the 8 is a very important, numerical number as far as that goes. But the Eight of Swords in of itself is quite often, it could be very much about your worries and things hanging over you and things like that. But it also can mean facing those fears and gaining control and being empowered and those kinds of things. And in this reading, I really feel like the 8 is what was important more than anything, and also the balance that they can bring. But also, I do think that getting out of your head and following more of your intuition might be a little bit more the way to go as well. It might be more of the way you're feeling or how you would we're talking about your key to happiness, and I think your key to happiness would be maybe to get out of your head a little bit more, and like I said, find that balance. Find the balance between the earth and the spiritual, because I really feel like that is the one thing that will truly make you happy in this life. Let's go ahead and look at your oracle spheres as well. Basically, how this works is you ask a yes or no type of question that you'd like to get an answer to. We have 4 different stands to choose from. We have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Gold, gray, bronze, green. You can pick by color, number, whatever. And then we go and we pick your answers. All right, number 1, gold. Is very likely. Number 2 gray is a yes. Number 3 bronze is a probable. And number 4 green is a maybe. Interesting. So number 1, gold is very likely. Number 2, gray is a yes. Number 3, bronze is a probable. And number 4, green is a maybe. So there are our Oracle Sphere answers for your questions. I really hope you guys had some insight that might be useful to you out of this reading. Please remember to give the video a thumbs up, share the channel with your friends and family, leave us comments in the comments section, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Also, check out our other videos. We have a weekly rune reading series that we do that has the Oracle Spheres and angel numbers involved with it that might be interesting for you to check out. We have lots of timeless tarot readings out there on lots of things, lots of topics. So those might be of interest to you to check out as well. And we also have some other spiritual videos too that you might like to check out. We look forward to seeing you in future readings, and may the stars guide your path. Bye-bye. Hello, Group 3, and welcome to your reading. Remember, this is the keys to your happiness. Now, remember, this is just a general reading, so please just take what resonates with you and leave everything else. Not every message will be for every person watching the video. A lot of people watch the videos. So I just kind of wanted to make sure that you guys had that message before you went ahead and watched the video. We do have your charms that we're going to look at and your tarot cards. We have our Oracle Spheres here a little later. We also have your other card. This little charm here flipped out, I guess, when I was picking charms. It says willpower. And it flipped up on the stand. So I just decided to go ahead and use it for all 3 readings. And basically, willpower, I think, is pretty cool. You know, we need willpower to get us through things, to help us push along, help us go forward and all that. So I think willpower could definitely be very useful to our happiness and so forth. So I just thought that was a nice little message that kind of came through on its own. Let's take a look at your Oracle card. Number 24, adjacent possibilities. That's interesting, because what I see with that card is what really might be of interest to you is to getting involved in lots of different things, like not just mundane stuff. Like if you have something that goes along and it would normally be one way, you looking at it from a different angle or a different direction, or utilizing it in a different way that people haven't thought of before, or, you know, going kind of your own direction, kind of your own way, I think would be something that would be very useful to you, and I think it would be something that you would really enjoy. Let's take a look at what your charms and tarot cards have to say about that. Okay, oh, this is interesting. Okay, I definitely see you guys as being free spirits. I think something that you would really enjoy, and maybe not able to do a lot of right now, but it would be something that you would be very happy doing, is traveling. I feel like going and seeing places, doing things, looking at what's out in the world, looking what's available out there. I see you guys have that kind of wanderlust energy. You guys, you know, love exploring things. You love looking at what's available out there, what's going on in the world, what, you know, the different things that are out there. So I feel like that is something that, you know, you guys would really enjoy doing, that would really behoove you. If you could do a job that would let you travel, or if you could do something that you know would be part of your existence on a regular basis, I think that would definitely bring you a lot of joy. And some other stuff. We have quite a few letters here. Let's see what we've got on those. Let's see, we've got a D, J, that's interesting, DJ, S, Y, R, that's interesting, A, E. Okay, first of all, I think music. I thought DJ and then SYR reminded me of the SMAR videos that people do. Both of those came up to me, so I was thinking of dealing with music. working with music, doing something with music, I think could be something very beneficial to you and bring you lots of happiness. I think that would be something you would really appreciate and really enjoy. That just kind of came through with that, like really strongly with those letters. But those letters can mean a lot of things to a lot of people. There's lots of different letters here. You can make lots of different words with them. So let me go ahead and tell you what they are so you can go through and make your own words or things that stand out to you on them. We have DJSYRAE. Okay. If you come up with any cool words, you can leave them in the comment section, and other people can get the benefit out of them as well. So that's something interesting there. This is interesting. We have the wheat penny. Um, Wheat penny to me can mean uh, kind of going back in the past a little bit, kind of looking at things, studying history. Because the other thing, I've noticed old sailing ships and this old roadster car. So I think looking at things from the past, studying history or reading books on time travel or even writing books on time travel. I'm not sure why that came up, but it did. I feel it might be something might be very much of interest to you. And you would really enjoy doing that. So that just kind of came up there. So just, take that for what it means. Music again came through. So I do think music might be something very important to you. We do have the home sweet home and the family and the love and the faith. So I do think um, having a close knit family, being part of your family, spending some time with your family is important to you. And is something that you would want to do. Also, I think nurturing a family. We do have the gardening can here, which I see as a nurturing energy. So I do think nurturing the moon can mean that as well. This is a winged moon with a diamond, so it's almost like angels looking out for us and looking out after us as well. Um, but that nurturing energy, the moon nurturing energy, I feel, and the angel energy too. That nurturing energy, I think, is something. So having a very close knit family, building a home that you can be proud of, and helping nurture your family, I think would be something that would also be something that you would really enjoy and bring you lots of happiness. We do have a couple of aces here. We have the Ace of Pentacles and the Ace of Wands. Aces usually mean new starts, new beginnings, and I do think, building something up from the ground up could be of interest to you because we also have the 2 and the 3. Once again, those deal with your community, they deal with your partners, they deal with your family and those kinds of things as well. We did have these other spades energies though. Spades energies are interesting. A lot of times when spades come up, a lot of people get really nervous and scared and worried, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, the spades mean, cutting things, and because of the swords energy, or they could mean, things being very harsh or worrisome or whatever, and they can mean that. But in this case, I think I think of it more as being practical, more as being assertive, being inspired, having lots of mental agility. I mentioned earlier that I think you guys think of things outside of the box or like to deal with things outside of the box. I get a lot of Gemini energy going on here. A lot of energy of just you're interested in lots of different things. You are fascinated by travel. You're fascinated by history. You're fascinated by how the world works. You like to figure out how things work, and your mind is just going a mile a minute. You've got a very agile mind. You see things from lots of different angles. You look at things from lots of different ways. You've got your mind going lots of places, and that's kind of what I see in this energy. So I think playing into those skills would be something that would make you very happy. I think you would get bored doing the same thing over and over again and staying put in one spot all the time. I think that would be something that would not make you as happy as being able to go out exploring. We do have the seahorse. We've also got the fairy. Those are very much magical, energies. We also have the bulldog, which to me often denotes going out and being tenacious and getting the kind of things that you would want. And I feel like that might be an energy that would make you happy, as if you actually asserted yourself that way. Okay, so if that makes any sense there, let's go ahead and take a look at your tarot cards and see what those have to say. Okay, the first card that comes up is the Chariot. That makes perfect sense. That's movement, that's going places, it's doing things. We do have the Strength card, which is interesting with the Bulldog energy we were just talking about earlier. So being strong enough to go out and see things. Also, this is interesting with this Strength card, because he actually literally is kind of, fighting a bull. So I think of bullfighting. So I think, once again, of traveling the world and seeing the things the world has to offer. We do have the Justice, which is interesting. We do have the World. I think seeing the world could be very important. We do have the Three of Swords, and we did have Swords energy earlier, so we will talk about that. The Four of Pentacles. We have the Knight of Cups, the Knave of Wands, and the Knight of Pentacles. See, now that's interesting to me, because both knights here, the knights are usually the ones that charge out and do things and go out and see the world. They go out and fight the battles. So I do think being strong and deciding to go out and fight for what you want and what you want to go get, I think is pretty important here. I think with the Bulldog, the Strength, and these Knight energies, I think that's kind of important. But it's also learning. This Knight of Cups has the Owl, which is a learning energy. You notice how this Knight of Pentacles, it's the wolf and the moon. You notice how he's kind of just laying here and being kind of patient. He's not running out and doing things. And the Knight of Pentacles is kind of like that. He's not the chargy kind of knight. We do have the Page of Wands, which is that curious. The page energies are very curious. And the Page of Wands is very much the adventurer, the ones who are fearless. They want to get out there and do things. And I feel like that's who you guys are. Is you would feel best being fearless, going out into the world, seeing things, taking a look at the world and the universe, and seeing things from different angles and different possibilities. I find it interesting that the Justice card shows up in your reading, considering the Justice would be a little bit more of a traditional card, or things going along, one specific path, and, things happening in a balanced way and not kind of chaotic or moving here or moving there. And I found that very interesting that shows up in your reading, because when I see this Justice, whenever I think of justice and I think of the scales of justice, I think of the long history and tradition of the law and legal. And I mentioned earlier about studying history. I do think following history, studying history, learning about history would be something that would be intriguing to you and be interesting to you, especially in relation to different countries and how different countries handle things and how justice happens in different countries and all. I'm not sure why that came forward. And I only think that message is for a few people specifically. So once again, take it or leave it, depending on what's going on there. But that was just kind of an interesting little thing that kind of popped into my head there. This Three of Swords is fascinating, along with those other swords energies that we were talking about earlier. The Three of Swords usually means some sort of deep heartache, or somebody really hurting in a lot of ways. But the Three of Swords energy can also mean healing, recovery, reconciliation, and that kind of thing. And the Three of Swords in one way or another showed up in all the readings, all three of the piles today. And that's very interesting, because I feel like all of you guys today need to heal from some deep wounds. And I think a lot of them, in this case specifically for this pile, I think it has to do with your family. I think there have been some deep wounds from your family, and I think those need to be healed. I think that there are things that are really causing it. It's making it difficult for you to be happy because there's such open and fresh wounds. Okay, so that's just kind of something that came through there. And once again, that might not be for everybody, but I really feel like that's a huge amount of you guys might be feeling that energy, and I think that that's an open wound that kind of needs to be closed up a little bit or healed. I just think that that's kind of something you need to work on as well. Okay, but definitely the excitement, definitely the traveling the world, definitely the checking out things, studying about different cultures, studying about the history and how things worked in the past, studying how things work in general, I think would be interesting for you as well. So, all that kind of things. Keeping your mind active. Uh, you notice how on this Knave of Wands he has a pocket watch here and a globe. So, once again, I think of time travel or other things like that as well. So, I think maybe studying time travel or reading time travel stories also might be something of interest to you as well, because that was something that came up earlier too. All right, let's go ahead and get your oracle spheres. And basically how this works is you ask a yes or no question that you would like to get an answer to. And we have 4 different stands here. We have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Green, bronze, gray, and gold. So you can go by color, number, whatever. And you ask your yes or no type of question. You figure out which stand you would like your answer to appear on. And then we go through and we get the answers. Okay, so number 1, green, is a not likely. Number 2, bronze, is a not now. Number 3, gray, is a maybe. And number 4, gold, is a yes. So green, 1, not likely. Bronze, 2, not now. 3, gray, maybe. And 4, gold, is a yes. So those are Oracle Sphere questions for the week, or answers for the week. I really hope you guys had some messages that came through that might be useful to you out of this reading. I found it useful, and I hope you did as well. Please remember to give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, share the channel with your friends and family, and leave us comments in the comments section. All of those things help us out a lot, and we really, really, really appreciate them. Also, check out our other videos on the channel. We have a weekly series of rune readings that we do the oracle spheres and angel numbers in that might be of interest to you. We have lots of timeless tarot readings out there on lots of different topics that might be of interest as well, and other videos on other topics as well that you might want to check out. So we look forward to seeing you again in future videos, and may the stars guide your path. Bye-bye.